JankyMind.com brings you the book summary, Norwegian Wood, A Lyrical Journey Through Love, Loss, and the Melodies of Life, by Haruki Murakami, written and narrated by Janky Mind. Introduction. Norwegian Wood is a journey back to Tokyo in the swinging 60s, seen through the eyes of Toru Watanabe. It's a bittersweet story about growing up, filled with memories of friends, love, and tough choices. Toru tells us about Naoko, a beautiful but troubled soul, and Midori, who's bold and full of life. Their stories play out during a time of big changes in society, showing us how personal heartache can be just as powerful as the biggest events in history. Imagine Toru, now 37, hearing Norwegian Wood by the Beatles and being swept back to his youth in 1969. He thinks about Naoko and their shared sadness. The story unfolds in Tokyo, against the backdrop of student protests and social revolution. But for Toru, it's the personal moments of love and loss that stand out, not the political noise. When it hit the shelves in 1987, Haruki Murakami's book became a hit, making him a star in Japan. He wasn't too keen on the fame, though, and went off to find some peace in Europe and America before coming back to Japan. Norwegian Wood is different from Murakami's usual wild and weird tales. It's more like a real-life story, but still has his trademark twists and turns. It's not just about romance. It digs into the deep stuff of relationships and feelings, all set to the tune of big changes in the world. The book has touched hearts everywhere, been translated into many languages, and even turned into a movie in 2010. It's a special piece of writing that stays with you long after you've turned the last page. Just a heads up, this book talks about some heavy topics like suicide and depression, so please keep that in mind. Now let's dive into Toru's memories and the lessons they hold. Chapter 1. Whispers of a Time Gone By. In the opening chapter, we step into Toru Watanabe's shoes as he looks back on his youth. He grew up in Kobe, where he was thick as thieves with his best buddy, Kizuki, and Kizuki's girl, Naoko. But then, out of the blue, Kizuki chose to end his life, leaving Toru and Naoko in a world of pain. They clung to each other, trying to make sense of it all in a Tokyo that was changing faster than they could keep up. Toru and Naoko often wandered through the city, lost in thought and conversation. During one walk, Naoko told Toru about a secret well hidden in a field, a dark place that seemed to suck in their shared sadness and fears. This story stuck with Toru, a symbol of the deep, scary stuff they never talked about. On her 20th birthday, things between Toru and Naoko changed forever. They got close, really close, in a way that mixed up love, confusion, and a whole lot of feelings. After that night, Naoko pulled away, leaving Toru alone to figure out his tangled emotions. As Toru's life in Tokyo rolled on, his days at university and his inner journey seemed to echo each other, both filled with loneliness and a search for meaning in a crazy world. This first bit of Norwegian Wood is all about the tough stuff, memories, heartache, and the fragile parts of us that can break. Naoko, with her well story, is like a mirror to the hidden hurts we all carry. That first time Toru and Naoko were together is a deep dive into how love and sadness are sometimes two sides of the same coin. And Toru, telling us his story, shows us just how messy and confusing growing up can be, especially when you're trying to heal your heart. The wild times of 60s Tokyo set the stage, reminding us that our personal dramas can be just as intense as the biggest changes shaking the world. This chapter sets us up for the journey ahead, showing how the past shapes us and how memories and feelings dance together in the story of who we are. Chapter 2. A Tale of Two Hearts. In this chapter, we find Toru in the thick of college life, dealing with his quirky roommate, Stormtrooper, who's a stickler for order and has a way of making words stumble. Then there's Nagasawa, the smooth-talking senior who drags Toru into the neon-lit nights of Tokyo, chasing after fleeting romances. These escapades paint a vivid contrast to Toru's thoughtful nature, nudging his views on love and closeness. As the days roll by, Naoko's mental health starts to fade, like a shadow growing longer at sunset. She retreats to a sanatorium nestled in the mountains, seeking a quiet place to heal. Toru, ever caring, reaches out across the distance, his visits to her becoming a lifeline that connects their isolated worlds. Enter Midori Kobayashi, a burst of energy and outspoken charm. She's everything Naoko isn't, bold, direct, and brimming with life. Toru is drawn to her like a moth to a flame, her candid spirit filling the void left by Naoko's absence. Their friendship blooms, offering Toru a taste of something new and exciting, a bond that's firmly rooted in the here and now. Toru's heart is in a tug-of-war, caught between his loyalty to Naoko and the fresh allure of Midori. It's a dance of emotions as he tries to balance the haunting memories of the past with a bright promise of the future. This chapter dives deep into the stormy seas of the heart. Naoko's retreat to the sanatorium is a silent battle cry against her inner demons. Toru's visits are his way of holding on to a past that's slipping through his fingers. Midori's arrival shakes things up, offering a stark contrast to Naoko's inward struggles. She embodies the choice Toru faces, to cling to memories or to embrace the new. It's about finding the courage to let go and the strength to hold on, all while navigating the tricky waters of love and self-discovery. As Naoko's story unfolds, we see the ripple effects of Kizuki's suicide on her soul. It's a subtle nod to the lasting scars of grief and the way our yesterdays can shape our todays and tomorrows. This chapter sets the stage for Toru's journey, a path lined with the complexities of love, loyalty, and the bittersweet dance of growing up. Chapter 3. Echoes of the Heart. Chapter 3 takes us to a place of quiet healing, where Toru regularly visits Naoko at the sanatorium, a peaceful haven far from Tokyo's hustle. There, amidst the whispering trees, they share walks and talks, piecing together the puzzles of their lives. Toru meets Reiko, who he first mistakes for a doctor, but soon learns is Naoko's roommate and confidant. Reiko, with her own history of struggles and 7 years at the sanatorium, becomes a guiding voice for both Toru and Naoko. As Toru listens to their stories, he sees deeper into Naoko's fragile world. But even in this calm place, he can't shake off his worries for Naoko's future or their bond. And then there's Midori, vibrant and full of life, pulling Toru's heart in a new direction. This chapter explores the sanctuary of the sanatorium as both a healing space and a symbol of Naoko's inner state. It's a place where Toru tries to understand the scars left by Kizuki's death, and where Reiko offers a new lens to view life's challenges. It's a tale of contrasts. Naoko's quiet introspection against Midori's lively spirit, and Toru's struggle to balance the past with the present. Here, the story digs into the shadows cast by suicide and its lasting effects on those left behind. It's a deep dive into the complexities of the human heart, the silent battles with grief, and the intricate dance of relationships. The sanatorium stands as a metaphorical crossroads, where the characters face the echoes of their past and the whispers of healing. Chapter 4. Love's Labyrinth. In Chapter 4, Toru's heart is like a boat caught between two currents. He's drawn to Midori's bright spark in Tokyo, but he's also anchored to Naoko's quiet world at the sanatorium. With Midori, life is a roller coaster of laughter and surprises. One night, they find themselves on her balcony, watching flames dance in the distance, and they share a kiss that feels like destiny. Midori's open heart and bold truths push Toru to look inside himself, and he's swept up by her fearless spirit. But when he's with Naoko, it's like walking through a fog of sadness and yearning. Their talks, surrounded by the sanatorium's hush, always loop back to the heartache they can't seem to escape. Midori shakes Toru's world, asking him the hard questions about love and what he really wants. It's decision time for Toru, and it's not just about picking between two loves. It's about healing from his friend's suicide and finding his way through love's tangled maze. This chapter is a crossroads for Toru, where the bright colors of Midori's world clash with the shadows in Naoko's. It's about the tough job of juggling the past with the now and figuring out how to care for others without losing yourself. It's not just a love triangle. It's a journey through the echoes of loss and the search for where the heart truly belongs. Chapter 5. The Dawn After the Dark. In the final chapter, Toru stands at life's crossroads. Naoko's battle with her demons ends in tragedy, and Toru is left adrift in a sea of grief. He embarks on a month-long odyssey, a silent tribute to the depth of his loss. Returning from his journey, Toru and Raiko create a night of music and memories, a little funeral for Naoko. It's a night of reflection and unexpected intimacy as they seek solace in each other's company, a moment that intertwines their shared sorrow with a quest for comfort. As dawn breaks, Raiko sets off for a new beginning, and Toru faces the task of mending his heart. Midori emerges as a ray of hope, her steadfast love offering a path forward. Yet, Toru is haunted by Naoko's memory, caught in the push and pull of past and future. The story's end finds Toru reaching out to Midori, a phone call heavy with the promise of new beginnings. It's a step towards the light, a chance to let go of the shadows and embrace what's to come. This chapter weaves a tale of navigating grief and the journey towards healing. It revisits the theme of suicide through Naoko's fate, exploring its profound impact on those left behind. Toru's path to acceptance and growth is a testament to the human spirit's resilience. The unexpected closeness between Toru and Raiko adds depth to the story, showing how we find comfort in the most unexpected places. And as Toru contemplates his future with Midori, the narrative celebrates the courage to move on and the enduring power of love. The final notes of the chapter blend sorrow with hope, capturing the essence of memory, the strength to endure, and the timeless nature of the heart's journey. Final summary. Norwegian Wood spins a tale of young love and sorrow in Tokyo's vibrant 60s. Toru Watanabe, looking back on his college days, tells us about Naoko, a girl as delicate as cherry blossoms, who carries the heavy shadow of her boyfriend's suicide. Toru and Naoko, bound by shared heartache, weave a complex tapestry of emotion. Enter Midori, a firecracker of a girl whose zest for life throws Toru's heart into a whirlwind. She's the opposite of Naoko's quiet reflection, sparking new feelings in Toru. His visits to Naoko, seeking solace in a mountain retreat, paint a poignant picture of love wrestling with the demons of the mind. The story tugs at Toru's heartstrings, caught between Naoko's ghostly touch and Midori's lively embrace. It's a journey through the storms of the soul, leading to a climax that shakes Toru to his core. In the end, Norwegian Wood is a dance of healing and hope, as Toru steps forward, possibly into a brighter tomorrow with Midori. It's a story that sings with the highs and lows of youth, the sting of loss, and the sweet ache of love. About the author. Haruki Murakami, the maestro behind this melody, was born in Kyoto in 1949, a storyteller who weaves the surreal into the everyday. He started as a jazz bar owner before penning his first novel. His works, like The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle and Kafka on the Shore, have charmed the world, earning him accolades and a place as a literary icon, with his stories crossing borders into over 50 languages. We have reached the end of this audiobook summary. To read the full book, check out the link in the description. Your purchase will support us to create more summaries for you. This summary was created by Janky Mind, your reliable guide to learning and growth. Please like, comment, and share your insights on the book. Thank you for watching.